Good morning. We're live. So excited to be here with Mazdak. Him and I were connected on LinkedIn and emails and through friends. He's in Montreal and I was in Toronto for many, many years. So I'm so excited we can finally be on my Bad Boss show with you, Mazdak. How are you?
I am feeling fabulous. Thank you for having me, Anya.
Yes, of course. I'm so excited about this conversation with everything that's happening in the world right now, right? Talking about mindfulness. But first, let me introduce you. I know that you help team leaders level up their essential leadership skills, earn the trust and respect of their teams, and align them to navigate through periods of change. And thinking about COVID, thinking about layoffs, there's so much change right now. So I'm just curious, what was your journey and why this work? Why did you choose to do this work? How did you get to this point?
Amazing. Well, a little bit about myself. So, I'm actually an immigrant from Iran. So, I actually came to Canada to continue my studies in engineering out of all of the.
Makes
So, I did
total
my.
sense.
Oh,
Mindfulness.
exactly. I did my bachelor in electronic systems engineering and the master's in software engineering. And for most of my adult life, I was working with large corporations, banks, telecommunication, manufacturing,
Mhm.
aerospace, and in their large IT departments, actually helping with optimization and improvement of IT processes. And what happened there was that, we would do all of these, changes based on Lean, Six Sigma, Agile methods, and all of that, presented to the teams. They wouldn't adopt them. And one team after the other team after the other company, I started to have like these existential problems. I'm like, they can't be all wrong with them. There might be something wrong with me. There's something we're not doing right.
Right.
And of course, the answer is we weren't doing human change management. We weren't asking the right questions. We weren't involving people in that. So that brought me to these notions of human change management around coaching, communication, facilitation, training, and leadership development, obviously.
Yeah.
During the same time, also, I was uh, really witnessing and also experiencing um, workplace realities and suffering firsthand,
Yeah.
and to the point that Monday mornings I would rather be sick than actually go to work. So
Yeah.
that impact from the work, and also how I was feeling and what I was seeing about people coming to work without any joy, without any impact, without any life in them,
Yeah.
got me to really go on a transformational journey, which I'm still on it. And that kind of related us together in our
Yeah.
proactive coaching courses and all of that
Yeah.
in Toronto. So I went on a soul searching, backpacking in Europe and all of that, taking coaching courses, coaching certifications, some, games and Lego serious play and all of that. But most importantly was my mindfulness journey. So I was an engineer, Cartesian, very, very square with zero meditation practice. And I immersed myself in a full weekend of immersive tantric meditation, of
Wow.
all of meditations. So that
Yeah.
really, from here I went really 180
Well, that's
degrees
how you
there.
do, right? The extremes from nothing to
Exactly.
100%. Yeah, that's how we do
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. And later on, I did a 10-day Vipassana silent meditation. So for 10 days, no talking, no reading, no nothing. You just meditate. And I was really, really interested in that. I really wanted to bring that to my coaching, bring that to my business. And I found out at that time that Google has this program called Mindful Leadership. It's called Search Inside Yourself. So I went to New York and took this program, and that allows me to use the language that resonates with businesses, with leaders, and still bring the concepts and the practices of mindfulness and meditation into the workplace. So I'm still on that transformation
I
right
love it.
now. I actually help team leaders within IT departments to get the alignment of their team, create a psychological safe environment so that they have the respect of the team, so that the team is collaborating, they are growing, they are aligned around the shared visions and shared impact and shared objectives that they have, and they are being creative, collaborative, but most importantly, they're having fun. They're enjoying
Yeah.
going to
Oh,
work
I
every
love
day
this.
because they're
Yeah.
growing while they
Yeah.
are contributing to their work. And for my
There's
one-on-one, yeah, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, no, go
For
ahead.
what for my one-on-one coaching, I also work with young and new leaders who want to be the change makers, who want to do things differently. So I partner with them to co-create a roadmap for their next move and whatever that may be for them.
I'm so excited. There's like so much to unpack, right? I feel like I'm like, do we go into human change management? Because that's the work we do a lot of. Because, yes, so many clients come to us and they say, we implemented the new software. We just released this like amazing performance management, but nobody's doing it. Oh, they said, that's incredible, Mazdak, right? So I love the whole notion, right? And here's my question. Let's dream for a second. What if, just like we all drink a coffee in the morning, what if every workplace and every meeting started with maybe a little mindfulness meditation and setting intention and coming into meetings, like you said, with like a little bit more heart, a little bit more soul, a little bit just more, I don't know, intention versus reactivity, right? We always talk about like, are you being creative or reactive? How do you think would our world change?
It would have a significant impact. It's a paradigm shift. It's about, starting our days, starting our meetings. First of all, check in with the emotions and be honest about that when we ask that as a leader. How are you feeling today? What are you
Mhm.
struggling with? One thing interesting happened to you that just shifts the dynamic for a couple of reasons. One, first of all, we are witnessing and acknowledging the emotions that are there, because the people that are coming there might be coming with a sick kid, might having some worries about some well-being. Maybe they were late, maybe
Yeah.
there are others, and that brings that forward. That makes it normalize it. That it's okay. I am feeling this way, and as a team, how can we support you with all of those
Yeah.
emotions and feelings that are there? And second, the people will feel belong, and they feel they are invested in. They feel that, okay, my leader, my team, my co-workers, they care about me.
Yeah.
They are here to support me. They are here to hear me. I feel heard, I feel seen, and I feel supported. And with that paradigm shift, the work changes. The way you look at work, it's not just, oh, I'm here because I'm having a paycheck. I am here because I'm growing. I am here because I'm collaborating. I am here because I'm deepening my relationships with my people.
Yeah. I'm listening to you, right? And both you and I work with teams, we work in corporate, and I believe in everything you're saying. I'm all in. I meditate, I have my practice. I love meditating. I love going for walks. But I also know, yes, and there's so many leaders who are not bought in. So knowing how engineers and more analytical and logical, we're going to talk about CEOs and CFOs and all the people who allow the budget, right, for HR to come in and do the training. You said it being an engineer allowed you to create a language. So can you share with me a little bit to, because again, I'm looking at my listeners, right, and there are a lot of my audience who are HR leaders who believe in our work but having a hard time selling it, selling the return on investment to the top and executive leaders. So if you were to share just like briefly, what is mindfulness, why mindfulness, and just give them some language to get the buy-in from the
Sure,
executive team.
sure. So let's first define what mindfulness is. The way I define mindfulness starts with self-awareness. Starting
Mhm.
really understanding who you are, who you truly are, what are your values, what is the impact that you want, what is your why, and being really aware of that. The second part of that in mindfulness language, we call it equanimity. In a simple terms, it's about becoming observant, becoming like a scientist. And that relates to engineers as well.
Yeah.
It's about suspending judgment and seeing things as they truly are, not that they should have been, and accepting the way things are. It's being
Mm.
curious. So being what we call a benevolent observant. That is also mindfulness.
It's like
Once you are
without getting triggered. Is that the language? The observer
exactly,
without
exactly,
being triggered by every
exactly,
word. Okay.
exactly. So being self-aware, being that benevolent observant, seeing things the way they are, and then leaning on your empathy to get yourself into actions. And these are going to be creative actions that you are, this is going to be motivating for you to get there. And once you do that, and once you share that, you start creating an environment that people also will share, and you also will collaborate, and you also build deep connections at
Yeah.
work. The buy-in, here's the thing, the way I approach that is two ways. So that was the definition of
Yeah.
mindfulness, is the how to. But
Yeah.
how do you sell it? How do you get people to get excited
To
about
believe.
mindfulness, to believe in
Believe it works. It
mindfulness?
actually works.
To me, it's like, let's find out where we are, like what is it that is not working today,
Yeah.
and then what could mindfulness bring? Listen, we are living in, probably you've heard about it, the VUCA word, that is volatile, that unpredictable, complex, ambiguous, and we are so distracted. We're so, like 50% of the time our mind is like not in the right place.
Yeah.
70% of the meetings that we're doing are waste
We're
of
not
time.
even there.
Not
Mm.
even there. Only 2% of people are actively looking into how to become better leaders, or better and more productive. And
Mhm.
we talked about the context of post-COVID. We're talking about the context of economical pressures and recessions that are coming, and also the context for which, for example, the automation and artificial intelligence. So that's bringing enormous changes. The culture of changing. The generations are coming that think differently, they do things differently than us, and all of that brings the organizations under huge amount of pressure, under huge amount of disruption, that they cannot continue the way they were doing it before. And the solutions that they have for the problems that was there 40 years ago and 20 years ago are no more responding to the realities of today. So they
Yeah.
have to become more nimble, more agile, more problem solve, with new ways of thinking,
Yeah.
and being able to navigate these disruptions. All of this has brought enormous amount of stress, anxiety, a lot of people to the verge of burnout, especially young leaders and
Yeah.
new leaders, because they are in the middle of the pack. There's people feel a lot overwhelmed. There's a lot of busy work. They feel like they're a hamster in a wheel. They're just running, but they're not getting anywhere. On top of that, their weekends, their off time is not that supportive either. So they are drinking wine and watching binge
Yeah.
watching
Netflix.
Netflix,
Yeah.
and we're doing on the Instagram and the TikTok and all of the mindless scrolling.
Scrolling. Yeah.
Sometimes we need to take the time off from our weekend, because our weekend was not at all that relaxing at all, and that all of that removes a focus, and we are overloaded by a lot of information, and that makes us make poor decisions. So decision making has become very, very poor, and we're getting problems learning. We become poor learners. We cannot retain the information, and
Yeah.
all of this is bringing decreased productivity. Uh, all of those distractions, and on top of that, strained relationships at work. So we're not building those connections. We're not making those relationships with people at work, but also in our personal lives.
Yeah.
Why? Because we are not present. We're not really listening. We're not really understanding. And most importantly, we're not really appreciating one another.
Yeah.
So this is
You're
our
like,
reality, our reality today.
yeah. So where would you, let's say, and as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking right about my own
Mhm.
life. And just yesterday, I had a training with the team. It's an attorney firm where, yeah, we were talking about like constant distractions, and not just from the outside world, but between peers, between employees, like inability to focus, inability to complete. And I'm thinking of how many hours and payroll hours times how many employees every organization is wasting every day just because everyone is so busy and distracted. So if we're seeing a team that is high levels of stress, right? The, as you said, on the verge of burnout and high levels of stress, when you work with teams, where do you start?
Where we start is put the pause button.
Do you have a pause button? Like, you know how they
Pause
used to sell
button.
them at Staples? And I think it was a stop button. Maybe we can start. That would be a good
The
product for you to
pause
start
button.
selling.
The,
Pause.
the, the first area to go is around calming down and turning the volume down. That
Mm.
means becoming emotionally intelligent. That means for people like us to help people navigate their emotions and master their emotions through very simple practices that we can do. Are you willing for us to do a 2 minute mindfulness
Yeah, we
practice
have
just to
4 minutes.
navigate these
Yeah, we have
emotions?
like about 4 minutes left. So I think, yeah, if we can take 2 minutes and maybe people who
Sure.
are on LinkedIn, I see Becky is there. And though, if you are on LinkedIn with us, like press pause. I think we all, you know
Yes.
how they say, if you don't have 2 minutes, you need 20
Yeah.
minutes. And yeah,
Sure.
guide me. I'm
let's
all in.
let's do that. So when you're engulfed, or what we call in neuroscience hijacked, by like an intense emotion, and whether that's fear, whether that's anger, whether that's anxiety, take a pause, close your eyes, and we can do that together with your back straight, with both legs and both feet on the ground, not crossing the legs. Put slowly your hands on your laps. Just take a couple deep breaths. With each breath, let go of any thoughts, let go of the emotions. Bring your attention and your focus to the tip of your nose, the sensation of freshness when you take in the air, and the sensation of warmth when you take out the air. Let go of any thoughts. So first of all, acknowledge and accept that the presence of the emotions in your body, without creating any tension, without creating any resistance. Just let the emotion circulate in your body. If you can, name the emotion or emotions that are there. Naming emotion is halfway there. So there might be some sadness, there might be some anger. Now slowly rub two of your fingertips, doesn't matter which one, with such a tension that you can feel the fingertip ridges. Bring your attention fully to the sensation of touch. Let go of any thoughts you might be having. Now take all of the fingers of one hand and slide them on the fingers and the palm of the other hand, and observe all of those emotions. Slowly let go of your hands. Put your right hand on your heart and connect with your heart beatings. and ask questions. What are you noticing? What do these emotions tell you about yourself? Slowly let go of your hand. Take a couple of deep breaths. Slowly open your eyes and come back to the session.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So, by this, we actually neutralized our amygdala, our reptile brain. We actually grounded ourselves and we reconnected with all self awareness. Because those emotions, I guarantee you, have some relationship with some of our values. And because those values have not been respected, those emotions came. So we neutralized our emotions, we connected, we grounded ourselves, and we connected ourselves to our values.
Wow. Yeah, imagine what a world we would live in. Like you
Yeah,
said on Sunday, not dreading work, but going in, trusting
yes,
and knowing that we
yes,
are safe, the work that we
yes,
do matters, the people that
yes,
surround us care about
yes,
us.
yes,
What a,
yes,
again, wonderful world it
yes,
would be.
absolutely. Do I have a minute to give a business case for why mindfulness for leaders are super important?
Yes, you have a minute. Yes. Because I know
Awesome.
LinkedIn people like it. Again, we're so busy. We have to keep it short, but yes.
Exactly, exactly.
Pause.
Here's the thing, bringing mindfulness will make you an outstanding leader because it changes the way you listen to people. It makes you becoming inspiring. It makes you approachable. It makes you trustworthy and it makes you coach like and serviable to your people. And those are all the qualities that leaders really, really want to have. Also, it increases your performance. You would be so laser focused. You do things really faster in shorter amount of time with higher impact and with higher focus. And most importantly, it will bring joy, it will bring fun, it will bring fulfillment. It deepens your connections with people. It increases your mental health and your well-being, makes you more attentive, more aware. You're more present, you're more curious, and you live happiness and joy and fulfillment and peace and calm. Any other
Wow.
reasons do you want?
No, no, this is good.
What
This
are
is
you
good.
waiting for?
Yes. What else are you waiting for? Pause, press pause. I'm sure there'll be some people who will have questions for you. I'll make sure that Mazdak, I'll tag him in LinkedIn comments. Please
Please
connect
do.
with him. I love how right the multidimensionality that you bring. You understand
Yeah.
the technical world and you understand it's like East meets West. Ooh, that should be your
Yes.
new tagline. Thank
Yes.
you for this wonderful little
Yes.
session, unexpected little session. I definitely feel more
Yeah,
relaxed and slow. So I appreciate
definitely.
you. I appreciate your energy and
May
thank
I
you for
leave our
sharing.
audiences with an inquiry so that they
Yes.
can work on? So, this is a journaling exercise. By the way, journaling is also a great mindfulness practice that you can bring to your everyday. And the question for you, the inquiry is, how do I bring mindfulness to my work and my life? So, I leave you with that.
Thank you. Perfect ending. Thank you.
It
Thank
is
you,
my
Master.
pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for the audience to be present with us and do the practice with us.
Do the practice. Go journal. Press the pause button. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you very much.